Welcome to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. Are you a goofball that loves Giants football? If so, sit back and relax. Except you, that person driving. Sit up and keep your eyes on the road. Your ears, though, can still listen as we talk about the team that both excites and frustrates us so much. And now, here are your goofball hosts, Drew and Rob.
Welcome, fellow goofballs, to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. I am Drew, joined as always by...
Me, Rob. Wearing the orange hat tonight.
And tonight we also do have a special guest with us here. So we always try to bring good guys here that know football into the program here. And I thought today be a good day to bring in Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy himself.
Brothers, how are you tonight?
Good. How you doing, Ray?
I'm good, except like I told you and Rob in our pre-show little production there, it might get loud here. I'm down here at the world-famous Ferg Sports Bar and Grill down here on Central Avenue, just below 16th Street in the Edge District of St. Petersburg. Sorry, I had to put a plug in there.
St. Pete!
But, good to be here, brothers. Thanks for having me.
And we got a lot of people from the New York, Jersey area, too, down in Tampa Bay this weekend, too, for the world-famous Gasparilla Parade here this weekend, the third largest parade in the country. One of the best reasons to get drunk and act like a pirate for no apparent reason other than the fact that there's a parade going on.
That's every day in Tampa Bay.
As if I need an excuse. As if I need an excuse. I just got finished before we started shooting this year watching one of the Pirates of the Caribbean movie even too. So we're in the spirit. We're in the spirit there. So starting off the show here, we do have some updates to give you guys on the NFL coaching situation going on here, because we keep on giving you guys all the updates because we are scared to you know what, that we're going to lose one of our coordinators here this year. And here's an interesting thing we didn't even think about this year that now we have to also be concerned about. And I want to hear Ray's thoughts on this here, because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are set to interview Shea Tierney, our quarterback coach, who Brian Daboll brought over from the Buffalo Bills here to be part of the staff. And Ray, don't you steal our guy, Ray. Come on, we're friends now.
Brother, he's Daboll's right-hand guy, and he was every bit involved with the production, with the production of one Mr. Josh Allen. Interesting enough, Kyle Trask, Josh Allen, both 6'5" quarterbacks, but Josh Allen weighs 237 pounds, Kyle Trask 236. I can't make this up. Is he?
And one has talent.
Okay, yeah, that's we'll take the Shea Tierney interview, brother, because I'll tell you what, right now there are so many offensive coordinator positions open in the NFL, and who's going to come in here and coach Tom Brady, who's coming back for his 103rd season this season in Tampa Bay or wherever.
And who you guys else are you interviewing? I know I heard was it Jim Bob Cooney there you guys are going, or what's his name? Like, it sounds like a guy from like an extra from like The Waterboy.
I was thinking more of my son hasn't watched that movie yet.
Something wrong with his mandula oblongata.
Mandula oblongata.
So who else you guys talking to here? Who else is who's the list?
Monken was Todd Monken, the OC there at Georgia, who was the Bucs offensive coordinator in 18 under Dirk Cotter. His name's out there. But, the Bucs, who else are we interviewing? We've got the thing that scares me. We could talk about all the interviews the Bucs are doing for offensive coordinator, but tonight I don't have the guy's name, but the Atlanta Falcons hired a defensive coordinator off of the Dennis Allen Saints staff. So for us here in the South, guys, it's like, divisional foes. You want to learn how to beat your division, so you hire from within. But the Bucs are going to find their offensive coordinator.
So just don't forget, we're not your division. Don't take from us. Come on, man. Come on. Ain't right. So, but we talked about this in the last episode. So, actually, it was 2 episodes ago. Davis Webb has been talked about as somebody going into the coaching field. And people may remember he was actually offered the QB coach position at Buffalo this past offseason and turned it down because he wanted to continue playing. So, I mean, we're well suited for if you guys do poach from us, you poacher. We do have an option there at that point by having Davis Webb just step into the QB coach role. But I kind of would like him to be a year as an assistant QB coach and kind of work his way into that a little bit there. Because it's hard to go from a player to a coach on the same exact team. It really is hard to make that transition. Yeah, so we do have another guy, another Giants coach here that we were worried about. When we were worried about taking here a job, Wink Martindale is set now for his second interview in Indianapolis as well.
And I thought he was hosting the Joker's Wild there on NBC. It's like, what if ever a name, Wink Martindale?
Yeah.
If ever a
Listen,
name
you just interviewed Jim Bob. You can't talk.
Cooter. I know, what the heck? Someone there was a Facebook post yesterday, and someone said, "Hey, the Bucs are."
Never trust a man with two first names.
Right. The Bucs hope to get Jim Bob. The Bucs hope to get Cooter. No, I'm not going to go there. That's just too blue for too early, guys. I'll let you go on now.
Hey,
but yeah, I mean,
it's
like
9:45.
I said, it's
you go for the Cooter.
Okay, well, no, I got it. We're good, guys. But I got to ask you. Let me transition because you guys both told last night. Your NFC show, you guys both came out on the 49ers. Before we even dig into the AFC side, explain why.
Because we hate the Eagles.
Okay, that's enough. NFC East in the house.
So, well, it's not just that too. I'm biased in 2 points of this conversation because 1, F the Eagles. 2, I also put money after week 2 for the Niners to win the Super Bowl, not realizing how well the Giants are going to play this year. Third bias.
Imagine if you. Oh, sorry.
Third bias is the Niners have the best defense out there, and they're great at stopping the run.
And what do the Eagles do? They want to run.
If you could stop, if you could stop the run against the Eagles, you stop the Eagles' offense.
100%.
Their run sets up their pass.
Listen, we played these guys 3 times. I think we know the Eagles. Unfortunately, we know them all too well.
Yeah, their run, the run is a great offense. Their pass is a great offense, but that pass is a great offense because their run is a great offense.
Yep,
as soon as you
they're 22nd in the league. 22nd in the league in pass attempts.
Wait, the 49ers, right?
As soon as you
I'm saying the 22nd in the league. The
you're not wrong. But you're not wrong. I mean, the Niners run the ball more than they pass the ball too.
Yeah. But
guys, we talked
if you
about
shut down the Eagles when they run.
Man, but that's put.
Sorry, was that right?
Josh. No, I'm sorry, guys. My Wi-Fi is maybe a little weak over here because we're getting ready to party down here at Ferg's. But party. You guys, we talked about this. If the Niners go into Philadelphia to the link, you guys, the 2 oddballs, and beat those Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Eagles, you guys Giants, you guys know how bad those Eagles fans can be. And this guy's a rookie. Is he that unshakable? Brock Purdy?
Let me put it this way. His only game he got the pressure that I fully expect the Eagles to put on him was against the Arizona Cardinals. He got sacked 4 times. Totally ripped up the entire game, and he still rocked the Cardinals. The guy is unflappable. I'm telling you.
Nice.
Yeah.
And we talked about it before on shows we've been together, Ray. He's a third quarterback, and no of these other 2 quarterbacks look nearly as good as he has.
Rob.
It's not the system. It's the guy.
Yeah, but Rob, you said you had that future on the Niners to win the Super Bowl early. Could you imagine if you'd had a parlay or a future bet that you could lay the odds on this, that the Niners would win the Super Bowl, and it would not be with Trey Lance or Jimmy Garoppolo? You could have been a millionaire, brother.
Oh, I wish, man. Because listen, I'm not a Trey Lance fan. I'm going to put it out there. No disrespect to Trey Lance, but I didn't think he was the answer for the 49ers. I didn't even think Jimmy G-String was the answer for the 49ers. But they played well with him there. And Purdy, he looks pretty. And I know that's
he's a Purdy.
Say that, but my God, he's so Purdy. Yeah.
2 cooters.
His cooter is Purdy.
Got a pair of cooters. So let's get into who we think, though, that the 49ers are going to play. We're just calling it right now because we hate the Eagles so much.
Oh.
So we have the rematch of last year's AFC Championship. I mean, that's pretty crazy to go the back-to-back years, the same two teams getting into it. You got the 5th straight AFC title game for the Kansas City Chiefs. 5th straight. That's damn impressive. I mean, not as impressive as the Buffalo Bills getting
Mahomes
4.
Got there. Since Mahomes got there, that team has been fantastic. And listen, the AFC has been a fantastic division the past few years. And Cincinnati has also been lights out.
Yeah, but that I'll tell you what,
they're also fantastic.
Everybody's fantastic.
They're all fantastic. Are we back in the water, boy? No, but I'll tell you what. It goes back to 2020, and you look at the Chiefs when they're on that roll, and they come in here because I'm a Bucs fan. I got to talk Bucs and 55, and the Bucs put that beating at 38-3 on that Andy Reid and that Patrick Mahomes offense, and they still had Tyreek Hill. Only shows how more impressive it is. But every coach has their day, and it comes down for me with the coaching tomorrow. Zach Taylor versus Andy Reid, and I don't know. Zach Taylor's got the cojones, but Andy Reid just seems to always find that offense.
You know what? I'm going to disagree with you slightly on that because I do think the big guy that's going to be here is the defensive coordinator for the Bengals, Big Lou. That man is just dialing up defenses with average players for the most part, and people don't even realize how elite that defense is. So we're going to get into that in a little bit here for you guys. We got a couple other little tidbits here in this game. So Joe Burrow,
I was about to say
8-0 under 40 degrees. 8-0. The guy is 3-0 against Mahomes now.
Yeah.
Now, Chiefs, remember the score of the game with the Bengals last year in the AFC Championship game? Anybody remember the score off the top of their head?
27-21.
24.
27-24.
24. They had that field goal in the fourth.
Guess what the score was this year when they played?
Guess how they won this year.
27-24.
Touche, my good man.
Oh, we're going for the trifecta here. We're going for the trifecta.
And listen, I've been talking all year about the Bengals coming back to this game. Maybe not against the Chiefs, maybe it's against the Bills, but they are a dirty second half team. And how many straight games have they won now, Drew?
They
Drew,
have, let's see. I got that down my notes here. I do.
9,
I think 10. 10. You just want to say 9.
10 straight wins. 9!
He wanted to.
It's like Sergeant Schultz over here.
The thing is, the NFL served up to the Cincinnati Bengals the biggest locker board material in the history of all team organized sports because of the potential game that would have been if it had been the Bills playing the Chiefs and they would have had to have played in a neutral zone, and they sell 50,000 plus tickets pre-sale before the game even last Sunday. The Bengals step right in there and they just ball over those Bills. Can they do it 2 weeks in a row going into Arrowhead?
God.
Well, let's start off here going. Let's start off here going over a little bit on the Chiefs here.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting too deep on
you're kind of wired up here. You're all wired up, Ray. We got 3 goofballs today. We got 3 goofballs.
Too much Mountain Dew.
Listen, if I wanted to raise 2 wimps, I would have named them Dr. Quinn and Medicine Woman. God damn it!
Or they both would have been members of the Legions.
The Legions. For those who aren't aware, the 1252 Chicago over/under show. Watch it. We and Ray are on there pretty often, and we do call ourselves the Legions on there.
Yeah, but
all because of one typo when somebody forgot a D.
Because I did it on purpose, right? Because we were doing the pre-show, the Buccaneers game day at the Giants bar there at Whiskey Wing, and I left it out at first, and I said it to you. I said, "Look, we should leave it," and I think it's a thing, right? It's not viral yet, but we're working on it.
Listen, never forget the D. The women will tell you it's the best part.
So,
you know what? That's the only way you're going to get that cooter.
Unless it's a lowercase D. Then you might be out of luck.
Well, in all fairness, it was a lowercase D he missed, though.
Wait.
we didn't capitalize the word. So let's go over some of the Chiefs here. And because, the big story with them, obviously, is Mahomes and Reid. That's the 2 big keys to this team overall. And Andy Reid, this is his 10th championship game.
Andrew, but don't you actually mean it's an Mahomes' ankle? Because that was the big story, right?
Yeah, that's part of it. That's definitely. But he looks pretty. Listen, I'm expecting his ankle to be 100%. But
Robert, is Rob a gambling man?
He is a gambling man.
Okay, Rob. Then explain to me. Unless you're going to get to this too, because I'm jumping the gun. I'm jumping the shark.
No, we're doing gambling at the end, Ray. We got to rein you in, Ray. Come on. We do our points at the end. We do the points in the gambling at the end, Ray.
But how did this point spread go from the Kansas City Chiefs to the Bengals by 2 points, now back to the Chiefs again? That's big, Rob. You're a gambling guy. Explain that to me.
No, I'm going to explain that. Like, it's not part of the gambling yet. So, Chiefs were favorite because Chiefs are always favorite because, like Drew said, 5 straight AFC championships, right?
Unbelievable.
You can't count them out.
Only 2 Super Bowls. Who said that?
Yeah,
that's impressive. You have to be there. But, all right, two out of 5. That's fantastic. Good for them. But
it's 40%. That's not so good.
I don't know.
Mahomes,
maybe for me.
Wait, did we just spill the beans on our predictions? Don't wait to the end. They already spilled the beans, guys.
But how many times have other teams been there? So,
listen,
yeah,
it's
impressive.
impressive.
Teams been there?
It's impressive, but here's why the line's moving back and forth. And I'm going to rein you guys back in order to get back on the Chiefs here. Here's why the line's moving back and forth.
Wait to be Mr. Andrew Rough Pants.
Yes. Oh, I'm going to be Mr. Andrew Rough Pants. I got to rein you 2 in. Go for it, Rob. You got 30 seconds. I'll start a timer. I will start a timer. There's a timer on this program somewhere.
I'll be interrupting then. Kansas City, AFC champions. 5 years, not champions, but they go to the AFC championships 5 years in a row, right? You can't count them out. Fantastic. Nonstop for the past 5 years. Last year, Bengals went to the Super Bowl. Awesome. 10 seconds. Fuck off. Excuse my language.
Whoa. Nice. Hey, yo.
That wasn't French at all.
This is that kind of show?
What?
Good one.
We are goofballs.
I'm kidding, bro.
Yeah. Mahomes suffers an ankle injury. Everyone thinks, oh my God, this injury is going to sacrifice the whole Kansas City season. Guess what? Ryan goes back down, right? Then Wednesday comes around. Guess what he does when the media's around there? He starts jogging around purposely around every media player, like, hey, look at my ankle. Guess what? It goes back up.
Well, Rob, he never wore He didn't wear an air cast out of the stadium that night, and we figured that was Mahomes is showing a good face. But you guys know at $50 million, $40 million a year for a guy, every bone in that kid's body is worth money. There's no way that even just to show things, they let him walk out of there without being in a cast if there was any question.
But here's the thing. Here's what's really going on, and we talked about this before, Ray, me and you earlier today. They're hedging their bets. They're moving the line back and forth because they don't want to lose money and they don't know who's going to win.
Is it
you
Vegas?
You know who's moving the line. It's Vegas. Vegas controls it all.
But is it also
actually, you know what? We have an interesting theory here, actually. We have an interesting theory from Jackie. The game's made up and the points don't matter. It's like whose line is it anyway, apparently. That's what it boils down to.
All is in a tie.
So, back to the Chiefs, guys. Back to the Chiefs. So, Andy Reid. The chefs.
Yo, they filmed it. The chefs?
The chef. We messed up one time. We said the chefs by accident. It's kind of stuck one year.
That works, the chefs. I mean, if you look at it that way, that's the way I pronounce it.
Andy Reid, though, is cooking up. See, I did that cooking up there. Andy Reid is cooking up a 3-6 record overall in conference championship games. Not so good. Yeah. See, I just bummed you guys out with bad news. What now?
Well, it's obvious, right?
The Eagles kept losing.
But how many of those losses? How many of those losses are with the Eagles?
Well, considering they've gone 2-2 now with the Chiefs, that would put them at 1-4 with the Eagles.
Yeah.
You guys are doing like what? This new short math they're doing in schools these days. What are we talking about?
We're doing short math, long math, middle math.
But you said conference championship, but
I
you're
don't know
saying
math.
Chiefs and Eagles.
Because AFC, NFC, it's still a conference championship game either way. It's just different conference.
Oh, you guys are still making fun of the fact that the Eagles have a worse conference championship record than
Andy
the
Reid.
You see where we're going. You see where we're going. Every episode.
Now I get it.
Every
Now I get
episode
it.
turns into screw you Eagles or screw you Cowboys, basically. That's what it is.
Okay.
So it's all about, okay? Yeah. Then we put it all together, we shake it all about, and that's what it's all about. So let's talk. We talked a little about Patrick Mahomes, that ankle there. He's not even basically a concern at all playing this game. They're basically saying 100% he's in. But the question is going to be how healthy is he overall? And I'm not too worried about him overall, I think, because he played well last week against Jacksonville, I thought, overall. And he should be better now than he was then at this point. He's got a week or so to kind of rest, relax, and see where things are going. This is a guy that is first-team All-Pro this year and pretty much has been since he's entered the league as a starter. It's a guy that even 90% of him is better than 90% of the quarterbacks out there.
Now you sound like the national media, but no, you're right.
It's the truth.
No, you're right.
It's a cliche, but it's true.
The truth.
But I'll tell you what I see tomorrow when you're talking about all the stats with Mahomes and his ankle and Tyreek's not there, but they've got Smith-Schuster and, Kadarius Toney is going to have
Don't mention him. We don't mention him.
I'm just kidding, right?
I see what you did there.
That's a name that won't be named.
Staten Island in the
That's
house.
a name that won't be named.
It's Jets over here, but it's also Giants, okay? But Jets, Mets, and then Yankees and Giants were like, and then now it's, Rays too. I'm kidding. But yes, Staten Island. Island, Rob.
Who can guess what the key is, though? The key to beating Patrick Mahomes. I want to see who else happens to notice what the Bengals did in the second half last year and has proven over his career to be the only way to try to stop him.
I know it. They stopped. They didn't blitz him at all. In fact, they never ran after it, and they closed off the passing lanes. And
exactly.
They played.
That's what you do. You rush 4. That's it. And you even can rush 3 against this guy because it's a good offensive line. It's hard to get to him. The only hole they really got is at right tackle.
Oh.
That's the only hole they really got.
You're working
so
it back
now
to the
what you
injury
do
thing.
is you got 3 or 4 guys at that point rushing. That's it. Everybody else go back and just pass. Go ahead and get the lanes. That's how you stop Mahomes because if you give him an inch, he will take a mile.
But I'll tell you what.
That's the only way.
You know what we got this year? I don't think Clyde Hilaire is going to come off IR, although he's due to possibly. But you also have Pachenko and the other receiver or the other running back.
Yeah.
Does Andy Reid, is he able to find a rushing game? And that could help them go a long ways because that's the problem last year. They let the Bengals, they were up 21 points. They let the Bengals, and Andy Reid last year made the not Andy Reid type of error. That was the worst coaching at the end of the first half. I was over at Harry Greek's house, and I'm like, they gave up 7 points, and then the Bengals had the ball coming out of the tunnel. It was a 14 or 10-point turnaround, and the Bengals never looked back.
You know what the interesting thing is you talk about the running attack, though? They don't need, Isaiah Pacheco to be this amazing running back, this Saquon Barkley type. I'm name dropping there. I'm going for it.
See what you did.
I did, yep.
Oh,
but
snap.
They don't need that because part of it is they also have, McKinnon as part of their passing attack from the running back position acting like that running back, though, just taking those short routes and running with it. I mean, that guy has been absolutely on fire. So the guy's only got 291 rushing yards on the year. He's got 512 receiving yards, 9 touchdowns. The guy has scored 6 touchdowns in the last 7 games.
The Bengals right guard, Alex Kappa, former Buccaneer.
Pick a position. Pick a position.
I know. I'm spinning the wheel. It's the Price is Right wheel of fortune. But
you did not stop at $1 there.
The fact is that Joe Burrow. How do you know? I stopped on a nickel, which gets me to $5,000 if I can stay under $1 the second roll.
Ray, just remember to spay neuter your pets.
Does Rob ever watch? What's Rob? 26 years old. Did you ever watch Prices Right? I'm kidding.
Listen, most people that are in their 20s and all just know Bob Barker from his small role in Happy Gilmore when they watch the reruns of that with their parents. The price is wrong, Bob.
No, the price is right.
See, I use the clean version of it, Ray. Aren't you proud?
Yeah, no, and I tell you what, you give me a Happy Madison movie, Adam Sandler, any day of the week, and I'm in. Yeah,
as long as it's
both
not one of the
hands.
newer one, as long as it's not one of the newer comedies he does sometimes, because some of them are really bad now.
As
Some
long
of
as
them are really
the
bad.
Netflix stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
So-
he's doing that to keep the chops, but then so he can go and he can make a Happy Gilmore, or he can make a So I think it's just but yeah, I mean, the guy's getting that bag, so hey, he's doing it right.
I think I think his image is a
Listen,
little injured
his Halloween
with the movie.
special has got off.
I
What was
think
God awful?
the Ridiculous Six or whatever that was he did was awful. That's for sure.
No, the
didn't-
Halloween one he did.
Oh yeah, that was bad too.
Dude, how's he
That was
dropping
bad.
all these bad movies? I didn't even know about this.
They're on Netflix. That's why.
I have Netflix, but I don't go to it
Yeah,
anymore.
the Netflix
His-
movies.
His
His Netflix
image
movies are like.
his image and career basically is as hurt as the Chiefs receivers are. You see how I transitioned again? Oh, look at that.
Oh, I
So-
see that. But
Yeah.
then
You got
I saw
Travis Kelce questionable with the back injury, but I fully expect him to play because he's been full of practice there. Juju Smith-Schuster limited in practice with a knee injury. No injury designation. They didn't even put him as questionable. They're just trying to rest that knee up. And you got wide receivers Hardman and Watson both questionable for this game as well. There's a lot of injuries to that wide receiver spot, but that's a deep position for them. You know who's surprisingly not injured? Kadarius Toney. That man ran out of hamstrings. That man, he's had 7
said it.
hamstring injuries. Listen, I'm going to give you guys a little rundown on Kadarius Toney, what he's done with the Chiefs, because this is where we look good, and where Joe Shane, our GM, is a freaking genius. 7 games he played with them. Okay, 14 receptions, 171 yards, 5 rushes, 59 yards. You guys gave up a third-round pick to get 230 yards. Stop,
guys, let's be
Stop.
honest about this. Isn't really the only reason why Kadarius Toney goes in the first round to the New York Giants is because he had Kyle Trask pitching biscuits to him, and Kyle Trask can make anybody look great.
No,
See
dude.
what I
Actually,
did
the
there?
reason he went to the
Come
Giants
on.
is because the Cowboys and the Eagles got together, went against us,
Oh.
and made a first-round trade. So the Eagles bumped ahead of us and got Devontae Smith.
Dude, if you guys get Devontae Smith, or you guys can somehow get who else did you lose in that draft? Devontae Smith, and you said who else went? It was
No. So this was Devontae Smith was going to be our pick. So the
Right.
Cowboys had the pick. They didn't want him. The Eagles did. So the Eagles went ahead of us
That's right.
by trading with the Cowboys. I think they gave up a third-round pick to do it. And they took Devontae Smith. We then traded back with the Bears who got Fields, and then the Cowboys took Micah Parsons.
Isn't that a crazy move, Rob, for the to make that deal, right? But you let Devonta Smith go to Jalen Hurts, and those two they go back. I heard they actually go back,
Yep.
and they have that success, almost like you have there in Cincinnati with a Joe Burrow and a
Oh,
God,
did you just transition? He just transitioned.
No,
he
I
did
can't-
it. He did it.
Right,
He did it.
It's right to Chase, man. Like it's
Jamar Chase, yeah.
Oh
I mean,
yes,
yeah.
But
he
yeah,
transitioned. He transitioned.
I
So
did.
let's talk about those Cincinnati Bengals, formerly known as the Bungles, but now they're much better. What a difference one quarterback makes, really. It's amazing. You get the right quarterback, and all of a sudden you're good. So, but I'd be remiss real quick if we don't, though, go over one thing before we do that.
The butthole.
I lost you, Rob.
Can you still hear me?
I can still hear you. We lost Rob.
We'll get Rob in a minute here.
He's got internet issues or something
Rob,
here. So
get the AOL, get the AOL.
there he goes.
There
There he is.
AOL discount.
Yes. You got
There
me.
you go.
So before we go into the Cincinnati,
My dial-up.
Dial up.
all,
Oh my God,
all
what's
the
this?
kids are like, "What are you talking about? Computers never made that noise."
You guys notice how I'm imitating a modem, but I'm doing a Tua? It's like, what am I?
I like
Oh,
So before we talk about the
Too soon.
Bengals,
What? Too soon. I transitioned.
the key is having good firewall, like having a good defense. So
Another internet joke. Hey, you know
Oh,
what?
there we
Let's
go.
let's
So
let's
before
call
we
it-
before
it's
before
also
we go
known as
ahead,
offensive line.
before we talk about the Bengals, there, let's run to the Chiefs defense here. So their defense is giving up a pass rating of 95.3, 28th in the league, but they did hold Trevor Lawrence to 74.4 last week. But they
Trevor
also gave up 6.2 yards per carry to Travis Etienne last week as well. The defense is not that good. It really isn't, and that's the bigger Achilles heel here, is that the Bengals have a good defense with a good quarterback. The Chiefs just depend on that quarterback. That's what I feel like.
The Chiefs have Jones at defensive line. I mean, they can apply a little pressure.
Yep.
They
15 and a half sacks, first team All-Pro.
Yeah, a little pressure. And they also always have Arrowhead as the home field advantage. But, I mean, we talk about whether Brock Purdy gets shaken up going into the Link against the Eagles, and I don't think there's no way Joe Burrow gets shaken up because they go into Arrowhead. He's already done it before.
He's already practicing the cigar. He's practicing that cigar for later on. He's got that going. Yeah. So,
he's already puffing.
But you mentioned the sacks. You got Chris Jones, like I said, 15 and a half.
Chris Jones.
Chris Jones. What did I say?
I think I said Ed Too Tall Jones. I have no idea.
I was like, don't tell me I said Osmosis Jones. I didn't say Osmosis Jones, did I?
Osmosis Jones. Osmosis Jones.
You got Purdue rookie George Kalafis with 6. You got Michael Dana, who's 5 sacks as a backup. And keep in mind, they got some old guns at a rush the passer, too, that don't even start, that just come into the passing plays like that. Frank Clark, Carlos Dunlop. They got 55 total sacks, second in the league. And they only blitz 25.9% of the time. You know why that is?
The Chiefs?
Yep.
Jesus.
Yeah. And you know why? It's because their secondary sucks and they need all the help they can get.
Ouch. Okay.
Let's be honest.
Wow.
So I mean, if the Bengals can hold up at all in this pass rush, it's going to be open season all day long for these guys.
You know what, though? And they don't even have to, because even going back to last year when Joe Burrow didn't even have an offensive line they have actually applied money to like they did this year in the stealing of Alex Kappa, signing of him. But the fact of the matter is Joe Burrow just seems to be nails, man. And that kid doesn't get shook. He doesn't get shaken. And he has his way of, he has his Tom Brady sixth eye, pocket sense. It's crazy because he take a step to either side while he's looking for Jamar Chase running deep and bury the lead. He's going to connect with him. He's got a great arm, too. I mean, Burrow's the real deal.
He's the real deal.
And I'm saying this against Patrick Mahomes, the baby GOAT. I mean, this is a quarterback game. You know what?
It's the haves and have-nots always. It comes down to tight end.
Tight ends. You got Kelsey over on the Chiefs, right? And you said he's injured. You know that guy's going to play. And you saw Hayden Hurst had that big touchdown catch last week, gets behind the Bills' defense. I like Hayden Hurst. There's a reason why the Bengals drafted him as high as they did, and he's as talented a tight end.
So what you're saying is you're a big fan of tight ends.
Who isn't?
Wide receiver. There you go, Joe. There you go. There you go. You go, Joe. You go, Rob.
Listen, Ray likes big butts and he cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny.
I see a little thing with a little bit of waist on his head. I got nothing. He's
got sprung.
Okay.
Yes. So you know what's an interesting thing here? Speaking of getting sprung, both of the defensive coordinators here sprung from the Giants organization, keep in mind, in this game, too.
Yes. Oh, God.
So, obviously, Spags was our defensive coordinator twice, and interim head coach even for a few games as well, at the end of at the end of the McAdoo porn mustache days. And then, of course, we had, Lou Anarumo was the defensive backs coach for us as well. I think just one season, if I'm right, 2018. So right before he went to the Bengals to be their defensive coordinator. So listen, Giant fans, we can hang our hats that we don't produce much, but we do produce defensive coordinators apparently.
And you said that the DC of the Bengals, he was the defensive backs coach right there in New York.
Yeah, back in 18, just one season, but we're still taking credit for it.
I would, brother, and which is why when I going into last year's AFC Championship game again over with Harry the Greek, I said when the Bengals started turning it around and they suddenly stopped Mahomes down, as we know now, it's because the way the defense they were playing, they weren't trying to put pressure on him, but they were playing coverage defense. But truth of the matter is, I said the DC, the defensive coordinator is a former Giants secondary coach, so I expected the Bengals to have a secondary to give Mahomes fits, and they were able to do that because they took away those passing lanes. Yep.
So let's go over a little on their defense here. We'll just switch it up a little, talk defense first and the Bengals, and then we'll go to their offense because everybody wants to talk about their offense. Their offense is just amazing, but Burrow and Chase and all the gang. So as we mentioned before, 10-game win streak, 18.5 points they're giving up in those 10 games. That's obviously not all together, but per game, 18.5 points. That's pretty damn impressive.
Yeah.
That's a good defense there. And like I said, look at that defensive roster. And you don't go, Pro Bowler, All Pro, Pro Bowler, All Pro. It's all scheme driven, guys.
Yeah.
It's all scheme driven. Don't get me wrong; they got a couple good guys, including ex-Giant B.J. Hill. Ex-Giant B.J. Hill.
I see what you did
could have
there.
been if we had kept him. Trey Hendrickson, obviously, is a stud as well. Well, tight ends and BJs. That's what we're talking about.
Who said BJ's? Wait a minute. It's this kind of show? That's what this is?
Wait a minute. What happened here?
It was this guy.
Swipe right. So if you liked it, then you should have put a ring on it. That's my last one. Sorry.
So let's go over some of the stats here. Why I keep on saying they're so good on defense. So they hold running backs to 3.9 yards per carry, tied for 5th best in the NFL. Allowed 58.9 completion percentage, best in the NFL. Lowest passer rating in the NFL. They held tight ends. We're talking Travis Kelce. I know how much you like tight ends, Ray. They hold tight ends to 79.5 rate, 3rd best in the NFL. They hold running backs to 86 rating. Remember we talked about McKinnon a minute ago and how good he is at catching the ball? They are very good at stopping the running backs. They're holding wide receivers to sub-90 ratings in the season. Stephon Diggs last week, 35 yards against these Bengals. 35 yards. This is a legit defense, guys, and they don't get the credit they deserve.
And isn't the key to that, though, the fact that they have an offense that puts them out front and lets the defense pin their ears back and play that pressure defense, which is, that's the recipe, right, for championship football.
100%. And,
unless you're the Giants or the Bucs.
The crazy thing is, though, they don't have, as we're talking about not having a lot of stars, they don't have a lot of sack artists. You would think a team like that is going to be built like the Eagles are, built like the Chiefs are, where you go after the quarterback, and that's how you play defense.
It's in the secondary.
Trey Hendrickson has 8 sacks this season. That's a down year for him. Sam Hubbard, 6.5.
Drew, we talked about this earlier in the year. We talked about earlier in the year, a sack's a great stat, but it's also like one of those stats are.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's not the best ranking for a defense. When you stop the ball from going anywhere, that's the stat you want. Negative yards are great, but also
But chicks dig the sacks.
0 yards is also great too.
When big you put it on Andrew.
Love the big sacks.
But we're talking about sacks, tight ends, and BJs here, guys.
Hey, I've been married 23 years, so there's not a whole lot of sacks going on. I'm kidding. I just that was fast forward to the meme of me in divorce court.
Yeah. And for the record, if Ray's wife is listening, complaints can be sent to 2giantgoofballs@mail.com.
Send it to Rob. Yeah, no way, because Rob's the one talking PJs and sacks.
Who's going to get home with a list of grievances?
And tight ends. Don't forget about the tight ends.
Oh man! So
Andrew, when you lay that out with that defense and you put that with the offense that they got going on, I mean, it's like, wow! No wonder the Bengals, no wonder this line moves one way than the other, because this really is a great matchup. This game, this AFC matchup,
it is.
It's actually stronger than the NFC side.
Do you see where I'm getting at, though, in the fact that they both have a good offense? The Chiefs have the better offense. I think that's fair to say.
Yes.
But only one of them has a good defense.
Yes.
And like Dennis Rodman said in that famous Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, offense gets the glory, but defense wins the game.
Has this show degraded to that level where we're
it has. We're talking. Is it Double Team? Was that the name of that movie? Double Team with Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dennis Rodman?
Yeah, it was good actually.
Man.
I mean,
This is
always
the
remember
first
that
time
quote.
This show is sunken that low.
Yes. We have sunk lower, don't you worry. We will continue to. The fans crave it. So here's a name I want you guys to remember in this matchup here. Let's see if I'm right, because I throw some weird stuff out in the show sometimes, and I'm not always right, but I feel like I usually am.
Usually are.
I want you guys to remember this name, Andrew Wiley. So that's the right tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs. So the Chiefs on the year have given up 26 sacks. 9 sacks came from right tackle Andrew Wiley.
Does Trey Hendrickson play over Andrew Wiley?
He does not. Sam Hubbard does, who has played very well against the Chiefs the last couple games. So I'm expecting Sam Hubbard to have a big game, and I'm expecting Andrew Wiley to hear a guy you're hearing the announcers going, "We got to get this kid help. We got to get this kid help," because he has struggled this year, and that's the position. You're not going to go help, on the left side. You got a good tackle there. The right side, that is prime for the taking, guys.
And I'm not taking away from those Chiefs running backs at Pacheco or whatever, but that's the reason when you go to an offensive or a receiving type of a running back, or I don't want to use the word scat back, but a smaller running back, they can.
Are you a scat man?
Scat, baby.
I'm a scat man.
You give nobody to plug that hole. You don't have a big tail. You don't have a fullback. You know, you don't have a WD or a.
Listen, you got to plug the hole. You got to use the tight end. You got to get BJ involved. You know.
Wow. This is swipe right 100% now. Jesus. This is the most risque I've gotten.
This is what happens when you shoot at 10:20. This is what happens when it's 10:20 in the evening and you're shooting. Okay.
You said shoot again. Is that
what happens? You shoot
the children are in bed. It's okay. The children are in bed. This is like the Howard Stern hour now.
Oh, it's 10:20. Yeah, we're good. Fuck this. Oh, sorry, Rob.
There you go.
Warning. 2 giant goofballs may include explicit content.
Wait, he started it first.
Yeah. Okay.
So, hey, are we going to talk about the kickers?
We're going to talk about the kickers.
Because I got Evan McPherson, that kicker for the Bengals.
The kickers.
And former, hey, you know me. I got a thing with kickers, man.
You know what? You know what? I'm gonna say this. Do your thing with the kickers, and I have a special team stat to give you guys. Oh.
Let's do this.
Oh, special, not yes, special teams.
Go ahead.
Go for your kicker stats. Go for your kicker stats, Ray. Go for it.
My kicker stats?
Yeah, go for it. What you got on this?
Dude, I have no stats at all.
He's like, you think I came prepared?
I'm still thinking BJ's and sacks. I can't even think of.
BJ sacks, tight ends, the plug in the hole.
My God.
And
a partridge in a pear tree. And 2 goofballs, and you guys are both hanging around.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, see what I did there? Segue. All right.
Dropping low.
What's your kicker info you want to give us then?
I got no info. I was just saying Evan McPherson, former Gator, locked it down last year.
Oh, yeah, that's why it is. He's going back to Florida. He's going back to Florida with this. That's what he's doing.
It always does. You guys, and if it wasn't for Florida, New Yorkers would have no place to spend a couple weeks in the summer, so don't even knock it.
More than a couple weeks. They move here like crazy, okay?
Boom, but now...
That's the East Coast, though, not the West Coast. We're good here, Ray. It's just Jersey boys you got to worry about.
You ready for this?
There's a lot of New Yorkers that go down there for 6 months in one day.
Hey, let me tell you, and I told you my whole family came down here from Staten Island, but now a lot of us, we vacation, and my in-laws own a home in Maggie Valley, North Carolina, and they actually have a name for Floridians up there. They call us halfbacks. And they call them they call them no, it's not the Sacks and the PJs again, Andrew. Get your mind out.
I didn't say that. I didn't even say this time. Wow, no, your mind's there. You're thinking about it. I can tell.
But the thing is, it's because we all came down from New York. All of us came to Florida from New York, and now we're kind of moving halfway back. We're going back to the mountains there in western North Carolina.
It's kind of a popular thing in Florida. So here, you gave your love for the kicker there. I'm going to give you the special team stat that I had planned here for us here tonight. So the Chiefs let Agnew of the Jags last week average 43.7 yards per kickoff last week.
What?
That's pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, huge return.
Yep, and Travion Williams of the Bengals has averaged over 20 yards per kickoff the last 5 games in a row.
Ooh,
Watch that to be something that could be a sneaky thing to help with field position in this game, because field position is important when you got 2 amazing offenses going.
I'll tell you what. I'll throw a little wrinkle in here. It's going to be dry Kansas City air in the mid to 20s, and then going into the teens by the end of the night. But the air is going to be light. It's not heavy or humid like the East Coast or a Cincinnati or like that. So I think the kicks, the balls, are going to naturally go higher and deeper. And will that play into this return narrative? Oh, God, it really has gotten that bad, hasn't it?
Yeah. High and deep.
For those who are listening in podcast world later on, trust me, the live video is worth watching just for the hand signals of Rob.
Andrew, they cut us off an hour ago on a second F-bomb. I don't even know why are we still even talking?
I forgot what I was going to say.
YouTube, we're sorry.
Oh, I did it. I did it.
You got me speechless. You got me speechless. So, you know what? You know what's a name we hadn't throw around either on the Bengals yet? And a reason why I almost hate rooting for the Bengals?
Tyler
Eli
Higbee?
Apple. Eli Apple.
Oh,
That's
great.
schmuck.
Go. What?
He's a schmuck.
Wait, you say schmuck, so...
No, schmuck, not
Giants
snuck.
fans...
Come on, you said New York, and you don't know what schmuck is? Come on.
Well, I know what a schmuck is, but
Yeah, he's a schmuck.
are Giants fans kind of sticking up for the Bills fans here and the crap that Eli Apple gave to the Bills after that victory
Eli
last
Apple
week?
has been this way since we drafted him. He's an immature child whose mama couldn't stop hugging him, and now he can't deal with anything negative. He is the poster child for the kid who got the participation trophies.
He's got that mouth. He's got the Deion Sanders mouth. He doesn't got that Deion Sanders play, but Eli, he can cover. I mean, the guy does got a little bit of game. It's just that his mouth gets him in more trouble than his physical skills do.
He has, I'm telling you, he is an average at best player.
Really?
Average at best.
Okay.
Trust me, as Giant fans, we know him well. He is not good.
He
was
come from
not
Ohio
good
State?
for us. He was not good for the Saints. He has not been good for the Bengals.
He was not good for
every
New
single
Orleans.
time you hear him, you hear about him as far as issues with what he's saying because his mouth keeps walking. And yes, he was a Buckeye, Ohio State University.
Ohio State. Well, you know the reason why Eli's in a perfect spot now to keep running that mouth because he's playing in that Cincinnati secondary that we already talked about. How
he's being protected by the system.
Hey, but that's the way a team do, right? I mean, I guess. But man, he did run his mouth after that Bills game, and
he always does. He bashed Giant fans, and we don't forget. We hold grudges like you would not believe.
How the hell did
especially
you
as Jersey boys. Jersey boys.
Who's your GM again? I'm sorry, Shane, right?
Joe Shane. Yep.
He wasn't GM when they drafted both Eli Apple and then last year with
Kadarius
Toney.
Nope. That Kadarius Toney was a guy we don't talk about very often because we don't like to, Dave Gettleman. And Eli Apple was before him even. So
could you imagine these two on the same team? It would be an implosion of magnificent proportions.
Like it was back for us in 2017 when all our talent issues happened. When you have all these bad people in the same locker room. But let's talk about some good people here with the Bengals and their offense because that's the last spot we got to go here tonight in this AFC Championship train. Choo choo.
I gotta go to the bathroom. I gotta pee.
Oh yeah.
Choo choo.
I got to pee.
So we all know Joe Burrow, obviously, and you mentioned about the weather. You mentioned about the weather, and one of the interesting things is they're talking about snow for this game. They are talking snow.
Yeah.
And Joe Burrow, obviously a good quarterback, and you wonder how can he throw in the snow? Well, last weekend in Buffalo, he got a little bit of snow.
Problem at all.
A little bit of snow. That wasn't cocaine in the field. LT wasn't coming down with the straw. That was pure snow right there.
Oh, hey, nice drop, nice transition to what I was going to ask, and that
you're
going
to ask about LT and cocaine? Is that where you were going?
but you were sniffing around where I was going.
Okay.
Are the Bills missing Brian Daboll that much? Because
no, he's going there. He's going there.
Because let's be honest, look, the Bills last week in the snow, they were playing like they were a Florida team in the snow for the first time and not having home field advantage. And the Bengals and Joe Burrow was just pitching and catching and pitching.
You want to know who they're missing? They're missing two people. They are missing Brian Daboll. You're right on that one, but they're also missing Von Miller, and that's what killed them on both sides of the ball.
But he don't throw the ball. That offense.
I said on both sides. The defense need help too. So
well,
you got a third string quarterback that first playoff game and had trouble beating them.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's both sides. But so Joe Burrow last week, 245 yards, 2 touchdowns, 101.9 passer rating in the snow. That's impressive. That's Buffalo snow. They ain't no Florida snow. This ain't like Jacksonville. You get a dusting every 30 years.
But unlike last week against this Kansas City Chiefs offense, it ain't going to be pitch and catch and stay. It's going to. So, man, I think I'm leaning way towards the over in this game. And that's just from this conversation with you two goofballs tonight. Because, I mean, if it goes the way it should, it's going to be a high scoring affair. Hold
on to your predictions there. That's coming soon.
Okay.
That's what she said.
And we can't talk about affairs when we're talking about balls deep and tight ends and BJs and all these things you've talked about here tonight, okay? So we got to talk briefly, at least, about the receivers here because Everybody knows how good they are, but we got to at least mention it. Jamar Chase, absolute freaking stud. Only 12 games this year, still at over 1,000 yards. T. Higgins, really, I think, came into his own this year. Being that he had a couple of games there to start and be the number one. He also over 1,000 yards. So, and Giant fans, keep an eye out because T. Higgins is talking about being on the move this offseason, and Smith-Schuster for the Chiefs is also going to be a free agent. So if we're talking about guys you want to pick up in the offseason with a trade or signing, there's two guys right there to keep an eye on this game for us here.
Oh, man. I said Tyler Higbee. He's with the damn Rams, but he wasn't a Bengal. I don't know what I was thinking, man. I'm sorry,
you were thinking T. Higgins. I know where you were going. You're good.
T. Higgins, Tyler Higbee. But wait a minute.
Tyler Boyd, 762 yards in the season. Joe Mixon, over 400 receiving yards. Hayden Hurst, every so often shows up in his big games, then disappears for a couple games. You just never know with him what you're going to get. But Hurst last game, 5 catches, 59 yards, and a touchdown. So he had a pretty good game.
Do the Chiefs have a defense that they can even think about completely shutting down, playing, quarters over the top, double, triple, and shutting down Jamar Chase?
The Chiefs would have trouble shutting down the Little Giants with Rad-Tad, okay?
Oh, God, this is going to be nasty this weekend. This is going to be nasty.
I'm really thinking this is going to be one of those games where you're going to see the differences between the two defenses, and that's going to come through.
And it's going to be a 3-0 game.
Okay.
That's what. Well, whenever you say, "Oh, Jesus Christ is playing Moses," and there's going to be like miracles and fire and lightning and offenses, and then the offenses come out and their butts are like this, and the defenses show up, and it ends up being like an
tight ends everywhere. Tight ends. He's back to tight ends again.
It's always Mark. What are you talking about, Mark Bavaro now?
Mark Bavaro. Mark Bavaro.
Baby, come on.
Going into Giants history here with Bavaro.
He played for the Giants, right? No,
yes,
I'm kidding.
He did. Yes,
Brother, I'm kidding. Come on. Phil
Sims.
I was watching the Giants. I was
and all.
I was at wide right, brother. No, I'm kidding. That would have been awesome.
You were at wide right.
I was actually.
And if Giant fans don't get that reference, shame on you.
Yeah. And I was in the north end zone just to the left, and when I could see it as it was missing, Scott Norwood pushes it right, and I'm like, they missed that fucking game. Oh, freaking game.
You did it again.
And
there you go.
Just won this, baby.
See, we just lost a viewer as you did that.
I'm so sorry.
The tick go down.
Really, literally?
Seriously? No, I'm kidding. You're good.
Sorry, Mom.
So, hey, Rob, I think it's that time.
Oh, here we go.
It's that time.
It's time to roll that
beautiful bean footage.
Bean footage?
I think it is.
Now, it's time for Goofballs Picking Football Scores. Let's see what they think about the games going on this week.
Ooh, there we go. That's the beautiful bean footage there, Ray. That is beautiful bean footage. So
I like it.
Let's get into the line here overall for this game here. Rob, you got those handy?
Oh, I got them handy. I just pulled them freshly up.
Oh,
guess who are the
get that handy while we're talking about the tight end.
There you go.
Oh,
BJ's
I
the
handy as we're talking. Listen, not only are we getting the BJ and the tight ends, we're also getting the handy. As
when Rob says it,
balls deep.
When Rob says it, it sounds so much more legitimate. It really does.
It's that Jersey accent. It's that Jersey accent.
It's Jersey. It definitely is.
I've lost it. I've been here in Florida too many years now.
Yeah. That damn Florida accent.
So what do we got there?
What do you think is the favorite in this game?
Well, you can't tell me that because I have the line in front of me.
No, I don't know it. So
it was. Why are you asking me then?
Whoa.
So, Ray, who do you think's favorite now? Because we talked.
I think it's still
we already talked about earlier. This game's been flipping and flopping.
Flipping and flopping.
Flipping and flopping by 1.5.
Okay, so it moved a little bit back again towards that center.
Yeah. Yep, 1.5 points. The over-under in this game is still at 48.
Yep.
So, Ray, you're the guest. Give us your 2 cents.
Brother, you guys would know a lot better than me, but I've already said it. Mahomes versus Burrow. The defenses we talk about are great, but I'm all over the fence on this one. I'm going to go with the Bengals, though, because they've done it already, and Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are just looking up good. Oh, you want to score?
We don't give a full score typically, just the over under and the points.
Yeah, just over under's fine.
I mean, if you want to go for it, go for it.
44-36, and it's just the craziest AFC Championship game in like forever. And so we end up with the Bengals.
Since last year.
I know, right? It's like, what's new?
That was a good one last year.
Like, everything's exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, it was. Well, it was a good one, but it wasn't that high.
Overtime.
But it would have been the under, right?
Overtime.
27.
No, it would have been the over. It was 27-24, remember?
Oh, that would be 51. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it would have been over.
I'm going over. Rob, and I'm glad you asked. I'm going over 100% on this game. I'm not giving a score because I'm not that smart.
So I'm going to go for it. I'm definitely not smart, but I'm going to give you a score. So first off, I'm going to say this: the Bengals win. I don't even care about the point or point and a half, whatever it's going to be at that point. I'm just playing the money line straight up because it's not going to be a worry for me because the end score on this, 27-24. We're going for the trifecta here, guys. 27-24, and it's going to be obviously then the over.
100%, Rob.
I've been talking about all year how Cincinnati is going to go back to the Super Bowl. They're going to go back to this game. So, yeah. Since he wins, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, they're just too damn hot. That defense looks too good. And at the end of the day, it's the defense that's going to win this game for these two teams because you can't take away Holmes. And Mahomes looks great, always.
You can't take that away
MVP
from KC.
candidate, right?
Oh, no.
You can't. Oh, no. So,
Rob,
that being said, the score is going to be like 77 to like 65.
Yes, the defensive struggle, 100%. Like,
a true slobber knocker. A true slobber knocker.
No, I'm going to go one up. It's going to be 30-27, an extra field goal.
30-27. Okay, there we go.
All right, it's going to be Yeah,
so close game, I think. But I think like I said, I'm pretty positive on the Bengals and 49ers going to the Super Bowl. I really am.
Let me ask this last question before you. Let me ask this question. So the Eagles Niners game is on first, right? And then the Chiefs and the Chiefs and Bengals are on second.
Yep.
Are we gonna get like that great first serving, and then the dessert's not going to live up to its, whatever? Or are we going to get like a hum dinner and a great dessert? Or is it going to be like,
I think dessert,
honestly,
is
close games.
I think the dessert is going to make the meal. I think, listen,
brother,
at the end of the
yes.
day, I buy it.
Yes.
You know what? I think the
because
dessert's going to be some raspberry jalapeno wings.
I think.
Nice. I think that you guys
delicious.
I think you're saying this because if somehow Philadelphia were to pull out the victory, then it would ruin the dessert and a dinner for Giants fans.
Listen.
No.
Here's my thing, though. Here's my thing. I'm jealous. I'm jealous of the 49ers because they're going to get into the Super Bowl by beating the Cowboys and the Eagles. That's every Giant fan's dream right there.
Congratulations to the NFC East putting
we couldn't do it once this year.
Yes. Congratulations to the NFC South and not even having one team over 500.
Oh, okay. You want to go low?
Oh, I went there.
Yeah.
I went there. So we're going to head on out here in a minute. But before we go, though, Ray, please do let everybody know where they can find your work.
First of all, let me do a shout out. Oh, that looked pretty good.
That looked pretty good.
Shout out to the world famous Ferg Sports Bar and Grill. If you're down here, if you are. Oh, Rob, you got skills. Hold on a minute.
We got this.
You're
people
down
that are
here.
not watching the live feed would be very upset later on if they're on podcast land. What's going on?
That poor guy's having a seizure. Should we help him?
He's popping and locking over here.
I'm on usually 1252 Sports. I'm also on the Sports Web and Amped Up Sports, and just having a great time and always talk ball because ball never gets old to talk about. And thanks for having me, brothers.
Thank you, Ray. Appreciate it, man.
Take care, Rob. Good to see you, brother.
Always good.
All righty. Always good to have a good guest on. So especially Ray. Ray's a good guy. So we got to go ahead and give you guys a shout out for those who have listened in for this long because we've been talking for a while now. It's been like an hour-long show here. This is the longest one we've done in a long time, I think. And listen, we got great conversation. Just keeps on going and going and going. So Thank you, everybody, for listening here, whether you're listening live on video or later on video on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, or if you're in podcast land, because we are available, of course, on pretty much every podcast app there is on the planet, it feels like. So do go ahead and give us a shout-out in the comments here. Let us know what you think of the episode there. Give us a like on the pages or subscribe, whatever page you're on there at that point. And go ahead and subscribe on Podcast Land. And listen, if you like listening to all those avenues, hit like, hit subscribe on them all. The more you hit, the better it is.
Please.
It's like playing whack-a-mole. The more you hit, the better your score is.
Wacka wacka like.
Wacka wacka. So fans, thank you very much for listening. We appreciate you taking the time to hear with these three goofballs here today. We're thinking here. And sorry if you had kids in the car.
Yeah.
Whoops. It got a little wild this one here. We like to have a little fun though. It's all in good fun, all in good jest. And as always, Giant fans, go G-Men!
Go Cincinnati! I mean, G-Men! G-Men!
Go G-Men! Go San Francisco!
Bengals. And Bengals. G-Men!
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support. If you made it this long, you must have enjoyed it. So I am sure you have followed us on all the social media platforms. Of course, you have subscribed to the show on your favorite app as well and given us a top rating. Right? Right? Right?